This is the example on page 7 of the examples, and when I went through this, it gives kind of a lousy result, but we'll see why in a second. I wanted you to be able to have just a regular flip-flop. There's no gate on this flop, so it either resets or it sets. So we don't have a starting point up until about here, and right at this point here, we see that it's set. So at least at this point, regardless of whether it's coming in like this or like this, it is a set at this point. And it goes along as a set. It reaches a region where it's 0, 0. That's a hold condition. It's not an active reset, but it becomes an active reset right at this point. And then it goes across here as now you got a toggle condition where, well, not a toggle condition. This is a SR flip-flop. So this one will probably go up right here, but it's kind of an illegal condition where you're both setting and resetting at the same time. And I didn't mean to set it up that way, but it'd probably go up to 1 at that point. And it would stay set because this one stays active while the other one does not. So it stays set up until this point where you reach a 0 and a 0. That's a hold condition. So it stays set all the way along here. Another set condition right there all the way along here. And then you get the first active reset, which goes right here. It goes down like this. And again, it looks like to me I got that illegal condition where we're both setting and resetting at the same time. And I wanted it to be something where you'd have to debate whether it resets based on the fact that it's a set condition here. So for a split second, we kind of get both of them. But after this reset, we get an active set, so that should be high. And there's no active reset, so it continues to be high across here. This is a low, low, so it's a hold condition. So this one will kind of go off like this. So nothing at the beginning to tell me where this is starting, but it definitely goes up here, has kind of an illegal condition in 2 places. And it's lousy. All right, let's look down at the bottom here. This one is either enabled, where you pass the signal, or not enabled, where it doesn't pass the signal. So here's how we look at this one. We really don't get a set or a reset at all because these are active hold conditions. So we really don't get anything at all until we come over to this point, where at this point we do have an active reset, but it's not enabled until we get into the enabled condition, which is right here. So right at that point, it's definitely a 0, regardless of whether it was a 0 or it fell to 0. It's definitely a 0 right at this point. All right, then we go, while it's still enabled, into an active set condition. So that goes high right at this point, lined up here where the set condition is high, and then it starts across here. Now, because that gate gets disabled, that's still a set. It latches onto that, it holds it. And we really don't get anywhere, again, until here where it's enabled with a low, low. And that low, low means hold. And we go all the way across here, it's still low, low. And then right about here, it looks like we're in the enable still when the reset goes high. So right about this time, when it's enabled, when the reset goes high, we get it to reset. And that means it'll make its way all the way across here in the low, low condition until it reaches the set, but it almost looks like the set is in the non-enabled state. And I don't know whether it's there or not. I'll probably not make it that close on an exam, so it's not so nebulous. But let's assume that this is happening while it's disabled, in which case it would have to keep on waiting until that gate enables it for it to go into the active set condition and be done. So there's my waveform. I really don't know what happens over here, but I do know what happens in the middle, and then it's kind of shady what happens here. So as I was placing these things, I just kind of put square waves on there, figuring that we'd figured out, but I didn't know that some of these things would be so close, and I'll try not to make them quite so close so it's clear to you what's going to happen and when.